Battle of the Throws.
Hi everyone, we are here at the beach at Portimão, Portugal for the ulti.TV broadcast of the World Great Grandmasters Beach Ultimate Club Championships. I'm Alana Archer, joined here by Steph Rapazzo, and this is the bronze medal match. We have Hurt from Canada competing against Rainbow Warriors from Sweden.
We do indeed, big matchup, and I am going to fill in here. We're anticipating that John Greenfield will be joining the broadcast to give you the color with Alana Archer, but until he gets here, I'm more than happy to join him. We just saw Rainbow Warriors on the last stream. They played a pretty nice first half, but then let the foot off the pedal, and Finland at the same time put the steamroller into gear and really did finish them off. It was a 12-7 finish. Hurt, on the other hand, had an absolute barn burner. Went down to Universe Point and just got irked out. Multi-turnover Universe Point even, and lost to Spangled 10-9. We're into play here, Archer.
Yes, we are. Hurt starting on offense. Currently with the disc was Jansen, who looked to huck it deep and just over the head of Tool.
Yeah. Shu, I think...
might be wearing a different uniform from the roster that we have.
I think it's Johan Barrel. And maybe a pair of twos out there for Hurt as DJ bombs one deep. Barrel can't get there. And it'll be Rainbow Warriors with a try.
Bringing in the disc now is Hansky. Across to the near side, back to Hansky. Pops one over the top to the far side and kept in bounds really well. Ripped the huck to go deep. There are defenders in the area. Ooh. Two receivers trying to get a hand on that one, but brought down by Hurt. Disc swinging across to Kwok. And a flick huck again, just too far by Hurt.
Yeah, that's twice kind of the same result for Hurt. They shoot deep and overshoot, and Rainbow Warriors will get another chance at it as such.
Hansky with the disc. Hits a receiver on the under on the far side. A nice upline cut, but the disc slofting just too much, allowing for Baril to get under that. A bit of a messy first point here, Steph.
Yet sloppy. They both fought really hard in the last game. Maybe a little bit of fatigue. The end of the tournament, it would be evident if that was the case.
Yearsley looking for Kwok. High disc pops out of her hands. Rainbow Warriors now immediately looking to take advantage of Kindgren in the deep space. Takes the easy reset. Viberg. And it looks like there's a call that stopped the play, but I think it might be retracted. A discussion still going on. Seems like the turnover will stand. Yearsley walking the disc back up to the front of the end zone. Another stoppage.
Yeah, there's a whole pile of calls here in the very first point. Just starting to get a feel for one another. And I think it is better to establish it at the start of the game, of course, than it is towards the end of the game. Making calls helps with the potential to have consistency.
Yeah, I do agree. Better to get on the same page early. Disc move to the far side with Yearsley looking back to Thu. Kwok. Now to the far side, Yearsley, and that is Kwok in the end zone for the hold for Hurt. Score now 1-0, but a fairly long point. Already 4 minutes into the game. Both teams with possessions.
Yeah. You know, it's easy to say ugly first point when you've got that many turnovers. It wasn't that ugly, but offenses did take a little while to get going there. That is for sure. Love the finish there. Yearsley taking matters into his own hand. He started the point off, finished it off as well, banged one in for the goal. The Kingston player, again, Queen's University, the grand old club over there called Mothership, which we love here at ulti.TV because our stream runs out of our tub that we call the Mothership. So loving to see Joel Yearsley bringing his years of university experience into play here on the beaches of Portimão, and we get to say the word Mothership because of it.
You do love that. All right, the disc in. Blom on the near side. Great inside flick, 2 receivers. I don't think that went to the intended one, but it was saved. Blom with the disc now on the far side. Great around break to Engagod, who looks to huck it deep. It's floating and came back in perfectly for the receiver, Viberg. Great pressure there by Hill from Hurt defensively, but the disc just on that far side where he really didn't have a play at it.
Engagod, I'd love to say pick it up where he left off, but in the last game I tried to compliment him at the end of the game and say good game. He's like, no, it wasn't, was his immediate reaction, and he's like, okay, then, well, that was a good first half, and he, whether it was in the last game and in the last half that he played, or more so throughout his entire career of playing, he's very much known for putting deep balls, airing them out, particularly on the backhand side, but really any which way. He'll throw hammers, flicks, backhands. He's a very, very polished thrower, and gets another one to go there.
Well, looking forward to see what else he can throw up in this game. Still early days. 1-1 all on serve. Disc up with Hurt receiving. Yearsley with the pull. Patty Hill moving the disc downfield. Jansen with the disc. Back to Hill. And all the way across to our near sideline. Yearsley again. Looks to the reset. Harnett. Nice give and go motion with Yearsley. Happy to take this safe option and be nice and patient. Harnett taking that flick option to Yearsley for the score. And that is 2-1 to Hurt.
Yeah. Yearsley just lightened up the stats sheet already in this game. He's got himself a goal, assist, block. Sure, he has a turnover to go with it, but really putting in the work, getting the early points in. I mean, you know, all those stats, he's on they only have 2 points on the board. Clearly doing a lot, so we'll talk a little more about him. You know, beyond Queen's University's 2020 Grand Masters, Team Canada, 2008 Masters when it was in Vancouver. Played with club teams like BMF, which is a great acronym, a Toronto mixed team. Have you ever heard of BMF?
I know a version of what a BMF is, but what does this one stand for?
Were Bombing Mad Fatties, an Ian Brooks team, and they were awesome. They made it to a World Clubs final or semi. Man, I'll get that. I'll follow up with that. But great team. Great team.
Fun name. Rainbow Warriors with the disc now. Linsmere resetting. Tareen Lovely flick into space, but just too far out of reach for Engegard. Hurt with a chance to break here. Great cut coming under and then going deep, and a high take from Owen Lumley for that score. It is a break for her, now up 3-1.
That's an incredible take by Lumley. He got right up out of the sand there.
I don't think I've seen anybody jump that high this whole week.
Higher than the hippie in Holland. He got up for that one and took care of business. We got John Greenfield checking in, so it's been a pleasure. I'm gonna pass the mic over, get that man right in. He's fresh off the set. Not just 4 days of World Great Grandmastering, but 6 days of World Beach Ultimate Club Championshiping prior to that. So we're gonna get Greenie in.
So the score here, we have, after that hurt break, up 3-1.
Okay, fantastic.
Welcome to the stream.
We've finished our last game, which is fantastic. But I'm really looking forward to this game, actually.
Give the camera a little wave here, Greenie, to the fans at home.
What a tournament it's been.
How was the final game for you?
We won it, but they were old friends, and just living history.
Yeah.
You know, guys starting in 1978.
Wow.
And they were just really good people.
All right, so the disc up now. We have Rainbow Warriors receiving. This is Foch with the disc. Didn't like the undercuts. Opts to take Foch as he's coming back into the handler space. Engegard with a great around backhand break. Blum with the disc. Great work to keep the disc moving, keep everybody engaged. Back to Foch, fakes the flick, and opts for the same receiver at the around backhand for the score. Great work there by Foch.
Yeah, Foch didn't like the up the line cut, did he? But very smartly, which has worked all weekend, I must say, is just stop, prop, wait for the break pass. So very nicely done.
Yeah, that 7 cut, definitely dangerous on the beach. Really hard as a defender to stop that.
Yeah, and the Swedes have just got beautiful throw technique.
Yeah.
And geez, that makes a difference on a windy day at the beach.
Definitely a masterclass of throwing. I mean, really this whole tournament for me, I played last week, but seeing the great Grandmasters in action it's something different.
It is, because remember, they've got to hit targets that are slower moving.
Yeah, definitely. The kind of margin of error is much smaller, making it even more impressive. That pull just sailing out the back of the end zone. It will be bricked and brought in by Yearsley. Have you played either of these teams?
Yes, we played hurt, and we ended up hurt.
I think I would be hurt just watching this.
Yes, they're very clinical on their offense. Very hard to get the disc off.
Yearsley lasers an under to Jensen. To Kwok, who keeps her feet in. Fantastic walk there. A great bid by Yearsley. And a travel cooled as he stood up from that bid. Inside break to an easy score. Once you get the disc to that break side, it's almost all over. Yearsley really taking advantage of that inside flick, and it was closed book from there.
It was almost a repeat of the Swedish offense, except they did it on an inside break with the forehand. But we saw just a little bit more athleticism too on a couple of their saves. The Swedes relying on their buttery throws to just hit their older players. I would say that the Rainbow Warriors, if we did an age off, would probably win that one. But the skill level and athleticism is very impressive for a GGM team.
Yeah, and we've seen that, I mean, already in the first 14 minutes of the game, a high take, someone jumping, as I said to Steph, almost as high I think I've seen anybody jump on the beach all week. So hopefully we'll see a battle of the two different styles over the next half hour. That brick just out of bounds.
Yeah, one thing they could improve already of what I've seen, I don't know the previous ones, but getting that pull in, it makes a world of difference, especially with this breeze blowing away from us at the moment.
Yeah, the brick mark on beach being almost a third of the way up the field is really punishing.
Yeah, more punished than grass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Blom walking the disc into the brick mark, kind of being indicated from the sideline. Bit of a spin move there. Hits Force, who then likes the look of Angergaard. Takes that small little flick to Linsmere and continues to move the Force in such an aggressive manner. Angergaard with the disc again in the center of the field. Breaking the Force, but just sailing up too high.
I feel sorry, but Angergaard is a master handler. I love watching him play. He got a bit unlucky there. There was just a lift at the last moment, but boy, they don't need that when you've got a younger and hungrier Hurt about to pick the disc up.
Definitely. It feels like a bronze medal match is always it's for bragging rights. It's to go home with something. Hurt moving the disc up the field to Patty Hill. And that was a great D by Angergaard.
The old man gets it back. Good on him. Now he's down. He's the deep receiver here. He's normally got his mitts on the disc.
Blom, look to Angergaard, lay out D attempt. And an inside there, thrown around the mark for the score.
Wow, well done, Warriors. You know, I think, so the Swedes in GGM level, a lot of these players would have been around when Sweden was top of the pops. They were neck and neck with the US, so they got a taste of winning, you know. And they've been able to come back and sort of relive some of that glory. They're still good players. You know, they're still able to compete. They're in the 3-4 playoff. And I was talking to Tom just last night. We're all in the same restaurant, you know, at the Indian. You know, there was it was Houston, the Aussies, and the Swedes walk into a bar or an Indian restaurant at that.
That's how the best jokes always start.
Exactly. And Tom, he actually stayed with us in '97 before he was any good, but he now coaches the under-17 Swedes.
Okay.
And they're trying to rebuild.
Yeah.
And get back to where they were.
It's been amazing this week seeing how many of the players that are playing now have children or are coaching the youth or juniors teams in their communities, creating the environment that we have now. Lumley with the huck, going deep for two, but just overthrown. Great bit by her to try and get the disc as it was fading away.
I must say the #1 turnover this week for the GGM. Leading passes, yeah, going in front of the receiver. Lumley, though, put a lot of work on that. I thought he might have had it.
Yeah.
Just escaped the receiver.
Lovely amount of touch. This now a break chance for Rainbow Warriors. Ensme with the disc. Looked for Reen with the reset. A bit of a flash poach there from one of the Hurt male matching players. Oh, a disc to the chest, but just dropped. Hurt shooting the disc across the field. It gets caught in that crosswind. And Ensme able to get a hand on it and knock it away. Reen with the disc. Dumps it. Great backhand. Oh, great layout bid. Oh, and some conservation of greatness needed. Jensen with the disc, moving quickly to Lumley. The Rainbow Warriors a bit slow to try and switch on. Jensen again in the center of the field. Open receiver on the far side, just overthrown. I think the receiver tried to keep his feet in the end zone. Sometimes it's just more important to catch the disc, keep the possession, than actually score on that point.
Exactly, well called. That's exactly what happened there.
Immediately looking to the flick huck.
Well, that was just a let's get it out of here.
Yeah.
Throw. There's a lot of pressure on their end zone.
Not against some huck and D for field position. You don't want to give a team like Hutt short field there.
Yeah.
Almost guaranteed a good chance of a break if that's the case.
Serene here on the mark. His daughter has just left. He got his daughter into the Swedish underage team, Lydia.
Ooh! Again, we're seeing lots of these high releases. It is a bit windy and gusts coming here and there, but lots of kind of high, lofty passes that are getting caught by the wind. Rainbow Warriors seemingly a bit stuck, but able to get it out. Great attack there by Ensmere. Kwok right hot with pressure. Reen launches one deep. Wow! Fredrickson coming down with that. Tui right there.
Wait, there's a call. I think there was a travel. He did sort of have a couple of stutter steps down the field to sort of set himself properly for the backhand. But I tell you what, Fredrickson there, what a great read. Had the defender all over her face. I think the sun is in her eyes. The wind was blowing sand. But back it comes. And I don't think he'll go for the same throw again.
Incredible concentration there by Fredrickson. As you said, back with Reen. Accepting, yeah, I probably did travel. Now with Viborg. Just throwing out the sideline. Was looking for Danny Eriksson.
Danny Eriksson, I can't believe he's made it out as well. He was such a legendary player back in the 90s. Amazing player.
Says it, he won Worlds in '92, captain. That's a timeout call by Hutt. Not surprised to see it. 8 turnovers, 18 passes. And we're gonna take a timeout ourselves here in the booth. It's Hutt at 4 and Rainbow Warriors with 3. And we are back here in Portimão. You can see somebody on the quad bike almost doing donuts around that corner. On the pitch, Yersley had the disc after the timeout. Instant turnover on the first pass. Rainbow Warriors now. Reen has the disc across to Viborg. And back to Reen. Viborg again. The two of them working well. Then a flick huck going deep. Defended by Jensen, almost a second attempt. Lumley with the disc, looking for the flick. Oh, and just too high. I think, again, that crosswind just lofting as the underside of the disc is facing the wind.
It did, Alana, and that's what we were forcing all week, is just into the breeze. If you try to sit one out, it's going to get lifted. And I was disappointed. Lumley, he had the sit on the previous throw, and I think if he did a similar thing, he would have got there. But really, just guys through the hands, simple passes.
Rian now. Not much movement downfield. Everything staying in the handler space. Viberg. Back to Rian. Taking advantage of that little poach. Ensmeyer. And a little miscommunication and a crawl on the ground by Rian to try and get that.
The sand monster got Nick Green there. What a shame.
Yearsley calling a foul, I believe, on the force.
If Lydia, his daughter's watching, she'd be chuckling, actually, watching her dad scrambling around in the sand there.
Yearsley bringing the disc back in. Across to Lumley. Back to Yearsley with that inside shot to Kwok. And that is a score. 12 total turnovers that point. 30 passes. 1 timeout. I can understand why, but that is a hold.
Yeah, Yearsley, wasn't that a beautiful inside out? He just made it look really, really easy. But nothing's easy in this wind, and that's what's happening here. We're seeing diminishing returns as the point goes on.
Definitely.
Because, you know, they're just getting tighter. That makes everything harder, throwing, catching, running. So I've still got so much respect for these guys coming out at this stage. Sand is the medium you can do it in. Sand is still king when it comes to your age and protecting your joints.
Yeah, keeping it viable for everybody to keep playing.
Yeah. And the Swedes are staying in the same place we are, and you can see in the background, if we get a wider shot, you'll see the apartments in the red behind the castle. That's where we are staying with the Swedes. They always find the best accommodation.
Yeah.
So we're good to know that we're with them, as we were with the young Swedes last week.
There you are. So I believe that the cap has gone off for half. End of this point. +1 to the highest score. Rainbow Warriors looking to get another point on the board. Down 5-3. The hot pressure defensively really keeping things far down the field and tight on that far downwind sideline. And that is why you can see trying to bring it back into the pitch a bit, but unable to do so. Hart getting that turn. Nicholas with the disc.
It's gone up.
With a flick rip.
Oh, bada bing, bada boom, Tony Bloom.
There you are.
Comes down with it. And he wanted it back there, and now he's run out of puff. He's getting, all right, we've got 3 back, 2 forward.
Oh, lovely cut there.
Well done.
Way to keep that one alive. It was one in the end zone, isolation space. I think as a defender there, knowing the kinds of throws the Swedes have, you might just be done for if your force gets broken.
Yeah, and Hurt there, they're just a little bit impatient, wanting to finish the game early, getting it just a little bit greedy. They need to get back to what they do best, and that is they're more athletic, but they're also good at working unders.
Yeah. It's a lot of work with the legs, hard to do by the final day, but it's the bronze medal match. You do what you're best at, do what's gotten you to this point.
You know, it's funny, I don't know about which team did you play for, Alana, last week?
Last week I played for a team called Mighty Hucks.
Oh, Mighty Hucks.
Yeah,
we played against you.
I played in the women's division, but we had one in each 3 of the divisions.
Yes.
But yeah, pickup team from London.
Yeah. We'll come back.
Disc up now, being fielded by Yearsley. Sent it to Noel, some pressure there already. Great chase down by Rainbow Warriors. Inside flick to the break side, but keeping the disc moving. Now with Long, back to Jansen. Oh, and trying to hit Patty Hill in the middle. Unfortunate drop there.
Yeah, she spent it before she'd had it.
Ooh, big fake on the huck. Opting to go the safe route with the resets. Weibug with the disc. To Ensmeyer. Great work to get to the ground with that one. Was Kindgren. Back to Weibug.
Oh.
Again in isolation, just too high. Noticed it floated, but just too late.
Oh. They wanted some of that magic that they had before from Nick Green, but
Definitely.
not to be.
Not to be. That was a great break opportunity, especially to stop it getting too far ahead of them before halftime.
Right. Hurt need to get back to their basics.
Yearsley with the disc. Opting to go to the break side to Knowles. Long in the middle of the field, back to Yearsley. Nobody's streaking deep yet. Running the unders, as you said, is Jansen. High disc, managing to get under it was Ryan Knowles. To Marianne Long. Up the line strike, not opting to look at it as an option. Great hands by Knowles to pop it across for Patty Hill's score.
Patty Hill's score, I mean, you can see that Hurt have got him for youth and exuberance.
Definitely.
The only thing that's going to hurt them is if they try and bite off more than they can chew.
Yeah.
Where they go for those leading passes or the hucks, that'll hurt them. And the Swedes hanging on valiantly, but yeah, it just feels like this is Hurt's game to win.
That point looking much smoother offensively, taking the resets when they're there, taking the easy options, grinding the unders, and less aggressive shots. I believe that was halftime there at 6.
Rightio. Yeah,
Hurt now starting on defense, pulling to Rainbow Warriors.
Well, that's worked out nicely for him, hasn't it? Yeah. The wind's swirling into the commentary booth here. It's not going away, is it, Alana?
Not at all. I think if anything, it's picking up. Keeping that pull low to the ground does make it all the way to the end zone. Bjork.
Okay.
Ooh, great grab there by Foch. Defender all over him. Across to Viborg. And again, Foch. With the hammer, it is swirling in the wind. Able to come down with it is again Viborg. Across to Engegard.
As a call here, Alana, I don't know what that was for.
There was a cool disc back to Weberg, leaving
Hello.
A bit of a discussion now as to where people were actually positioned. I think it's a foul accepted based on the hand signals. Very clear for us. Oh, a bit of chaos, but manages to get the disc off to Engegard. Oh! And a great D there by Scott Harnett from Hart.
We got Nichols. Jen Nichols is absolutely bolted for the end zone. Now she's doing a massive under. Are they going to see her?
Lumley gone deep now, opting to go for that deep shot instead of the under. And as you said earlier, I think that's where you start to get biting off more you can chew. You had Nichols coming, great setup of the cut, cutting deep, coming back under, was wide open, but wanted to see the flashy play of the huck and the deep strike than taking something that, one, is an easier throw, less likely to get caught by the wind.
And one person to agree with us there is Jen Nichols, who ran all the way to the end zone, all the way back to watch the disc sail over her head for a turnover.
Nichols now in the lane. Great walk to do that. Causing the turnover really there for Nichols, who finally gets a look. Nichols now on the end zone line, breaks the force. Fabulous walk.
Well, we'll say that was all Jen Nichols,
I would say that's all Jen Nichols. I might be a bit biased. The score going to Phil Wantambe.
So
but fabulous walk by her.
Great work. We love Jen. She's semi-Aussie. She was in Australia for a while, and when we played those guys, it was just a lot of fun. Bringing back some of the memories of Ultimate in the late 90s and early 2000s. But she did the work there. She hung in the, well, what we said, that was a fantastic grab to start with. What we missed was the turnover that she created by hanging in the lane, causing the hard throw. Then a lovely little catch there. Yeah, that was nice.
Scott or Dan, can you go? Scott?
So that was a break to come out of half. Here's that flash in the lane there by Nichols, forcing that inside shot that in the wind just sort of blades over, giving Hutt that break opportunity that they punch in. Score now 7-4. Rainbow Warriors really needing to score this one to kind of stay connected and stay attached. The pull was fantastic, just to the back of the end zone. Here's Tommy Blum. Back to Tommy. Oh, great catch between the knees by Weberg. Engegard looking deep. Lovely shot. And that's where you see the experience come into it.
The edge control required for those throws, that whole sequence.
Yeah, especially with, like we said, that crosswind. He showed just about as much of the bottom of the disc as some of the throws that we've seen or turnovers before. But Engegard really knows what to do with that. Keeping them in the game now, 7-5.
That was a blading outside-in flick that has landed on his chest with a slow-moving target with a blazing breeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is special.
Definitely a blazing breeze. The commentary stand shaking a bit with these gusts coming through.
If this commentary booth takes off, are we going to be okay, Alana? Where is our soft landing going to be?
Well, the sand, I suppose, but I know as best as you do. I have pole gone up, lets it roll. Yosley to 2 to Jansen. Didn't like the fast cut, goes with the second under, and that's a tough, I think it's a ground strip really. Good spirit there by Lumley. Oh, and a great bid by Jansen. Weberg with the disc, saw that Yosley was face marking in the end zone, chooses to throw it up out into space. Kindgreen taking that one safe and sound, and that's a break.
That's a break, and a shout out here, Richard Kindgren there. He is an old sparring partner of many worlds over the years. He was a feisty character back in the day, I would say, around sort of 2004. But he's got a fantastic sense of humor when you get to know him. In fact, he used to wear a shirt saying Mr. Spirit, because we always used to give him grief for his calls that he'd make or whatever. So he got a shirt made up for himself called Mr. Spirit. But you know, this is just fantastic to see these legends out here still doing it. And you've just got to remember, you know, okay, it's not as fast-paced as last week, but you're still seeing some great skills and some real history of Ultimate Frisbee out here.
Definitely. And as you said, the people out here really forging the path in their play historically, and some of the contributions that they're still making to the community today. It's great to have a chance for them to be on the spotlight. still playing and showing what they're best at, even if it's not at the same pace as they may used to have played. Hut progressing the disc up the field. Lumley now looks to reset. Moving well. Janssen on the far side looks to Lumley, striking up and brings that one down. Ensmeyer recognizing the disc is near, but I think probably a safe play from her to not get involved. I think he was in the space first and tried to do enough to put him off.
Yeah.
Not quite enough to stop the score.
And look, wasn't it lovely touch from Janssen?
Yeah.
He's another one that has terrorised us over the years in the Canadian men's teams. Also, I'm pretty sure he was furious, or was he? I'm pretty sure he was furious. Anyway, I've played him against him many times. He was in his day a fantastic lane cutter, and he seems to be doing a bit of handling now. But yeah, the touch on that was exceptional.
So Hut signaling, ready to pull as it comes down. At a sharp angle, but fielded well. Engegard with the disc. Hits to the far side, Forsch. Inside with a great bid there. Viborg resets. And taking the under. Rips a flick hook. Viborg taking that one down with Harnett really making a bid, kind of swiping along his back. You can see the respect between the two, saying, sorry about the contact there, great grab, well done. I love the play, the effort, and then the acknowledgement afterwards saying, no hard feelings.
Yeah, there was a lot to like, wasn't there? The throw was exceptional, got behind the defender, but the hands here from Weber, under pressure. That was the second catch that he had to do with a defender right on him in this win. That is exceptional skills.
And as you said before, you know that Hut might outpace them on a foot race. You know that he understands he's coming, and he's coming faster than I can get there. We're about to be at the back of the end zone. That's great concentration and a bit of ability to keep that one safe.
Now, according to our time, 41 minutes, so they need to make a move here on defense, the Rainbow Warriors.
Grinding the unders is Kwok to 2. Yosley with the upline, laying out for it, but not quite in the end zone.
No,
Yosley with the little shovel pass.
Hang on.
And it looks like there's been a potential travel call, is what I would assume.
Now, interestingly, Kingren have sort of stopped. He just stopped defending because I think he felt he travelled, but he only travelled because he sort of laid out and sort of landed in a heap.
Yeah.
But Kingren decided not to put a mark on, and I don't know if he confused his teammate there. We'll have a look. This is an exceptional pass, great layout. And Richard's just sort of standing there going, no, you should be there.
You can see the look of confusion on Yosley's face.
What are you talking about? Me traveling? I laid out.
What are your thoughts on that? Where do you think it's, yeah, where his feet were on the bid versus where his chest was? The disc isn't in the end zone.
Yeah, look, I don't think Ricard just needed to get onto that mark and get going and close it off. Anyway.
It didn't seem egregious to me.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see it and it's a bit much, but pull gone up. Engegard to Linsmere, back to Engegard. To Tommy Blom. Linsmere, Engegard again to Weberg. Lots of little dishy movement here. Forsch with the disc, running deep. He has a receiver, it floats up in the air. And again, great take by Tommy Blom.
Bada bing, bada boom, Tommy Blom, come on down.
Knowing that Farrell is there, again closing in quick. Good hands.
So when he was in Australia, he stayed with us in Sydney with Brian Petty's, and that's what we named him, Bada Bing Bada Boom, Tony Bloom.
It's a good one. It's a good line.
Yeah. That was when we had Ultimate just for fun, you know. Caught up with him at dinner last night and sent a photo of us to Brian Petty's, and he was, oh man, wish I was there. So yeah, good times, good times.
Come on, Brian Petty's, if you're watching. Where are you at?
Yeah.
Rainbow Warriors trying to stay in this. About 30 seconds left on the clock before we go to cap. Her up by 1. Rainbow Warriors will be desperate for the break here. Let's see what they can bring down on defense. Yersley hits 2 on the far side. To Jansen and across to Nichols. Great work by Yersley. That disc definitely low. Jansen walking those unders. Wow, nice grab there by 2. Some contact on the force. Foul accepted. And time has just gone for cap. So it'll be the end of this point plus 1 of the highest score. It'll be either 9 or 10. Oh, sorry, 10 or 11. Jansen with the disc. To Lumley, fakes that one and shoots to the end zone, but a bit of a miscommunication as to if the receiver there was going to keep cutting.
Yeah. Hats off to Louisa too there. Really digging with a couple of really tough cuts, great grabs, really nice resets. She is a pro. And also Jen Nichols there anchoring the offense.
Definitely. Looks like the female matching players here running a bit of a bracket. I like to see that efficiency on the beach. Rainbow Warriors struggling, taking advantage of a defender on the ground, ripping a backhand hug. It bends in the wind, a double catch.
Oh, preservation of greatness needed by Danny Erickson.
That's
Incredible
a tough
catch.
break. Lumley gone deep for the backhand, having to do a 360 to find the disc as it's sailing in the wind. Falls backwards. That's devastating.
Oh, where was the sniper? He got hit by a sniper. The sand monster got him. Oh, that was so unfortunate. Oh.
And a travel cooled on bringing the disc back in. Was walked a bit more central than where it went out.
And now Nicholas Wren is in coffin corner, big time.
Again, looks to rip it. And this one's completed. Let's see if there's some conservation now. There is another one that just gets sent by Viborg. Was looking for Fredrickson in the end zone, but another sniper took that one out.
Well, there was no conservation of greatness,
No.
or conservation of energy in that play.
If only. Nichols bringing the disc in. Lumley with the under. Great cut up the line there by Yersley. To Jansen.
Oh.
To 2. Taking the safe option to Jansen. And again to Nichols. You can see some of the players out there exhausted, hands on the knees, even though the point is still in play. Not liking that option in the end zone. Yersley happy to get the disc back on the reset. Nichols. And that around, sailing in the wind, only one around it though, was Owen Lumley. This time able to stay on his feet, bringing the score to 10-8 to Hurt.
I'm calling out the girls again on that play.
Definitely should be.
Louisa too. I mean, there was just some real professional digging in, getting the open cuts, getting the resets, and then that break from Jen Nichols. And to do that and to sit it for the man who got hit by the sniper beforehand that was exceptional. So that was a big play from the two girls on that point.
Definitely. A lot of the athleticism coming from Hurt in some of the big plays, definitely on the male matching side, but I do think that it's these female matching players that are holding it down, being the glue of the team, even if they don't have necessarily all of the highlight reels of layouts, Ds, and high catches. They're the ones that are keeping it all together.
As women often do, that's what I say.
You said it, not me. I'm a bit biased though. Here we are with Rainbow Warriors, needing to get this one in. A cool downfield, potentially a pick or a push off. I didn't see it, but seems to be fairly discussed. Pretty amicable between the two teams, even though it's an important game for both.
Well, that was a bit egregious there, the contact, but it's up.
Oh, yeah, a bit of contact there from the Hurt defender on Forsch in that undercut. Then turns to rip it deep to Viborg, but a bit too far. There you saw that D on the replay.
You see Angergaard angry and gestating with his hands. He's still going. All of his pain in the legs is being exiting out of his hands and his mouth at the moment.
Not sure what they're talking about.
I think the option. He wasn't really happy with the option there.
So, two Hurt players streaking deep. Chooses McConville, who dishes to Harnett. Back to McConville. Eyes on Harnett, but ripping deep now. Oh, and just out of the hands of Wantambe. That was so close to being a score, or potentially a straddle, depending on where his feet landed.
I wonder if he was thinking about his feet there again.
Yeah, thinking the same thing. It was right on the tape.
Yeah. Nevertheless, another chance for Rainbow Warriors. You can see they got to get about halfway and they want to finish it.
Yeah.
You know, they know they don't have the legs.
Need to stay patient.
Ooh.
And here goes the Hawk. It's floating nicely. And that is a score for Forsch. Now 10-9. You can see him and the defender that was marking him through that point. Wantambe from Hurt. Go for a high five. Respect around.
It was just skill, wasn't it? What skill to sit that? Let's have a look again. He didn't take Angergaard on the dump. So really, he was left with one option. There was one to receive it downfield.
And that sat so nicely.
Oh. Yeah.
Even with the bandage on his head, still out there.
Yeah, the defender just got turned around. He had his hips turned and gave the goal. So we have 10-9, so we're a game to 11.
Yep, I believe so. We can just hear the whistle now, asking for the teams to indicate their readiness for the pull. It's two female matching players for each team, dictated by the offense. Hurt. Nichols fielding the pull, centers to Yersley. Tool open in that underspace, goes to the ground to secure the catch. Lumley deep, but grinding the unders again. Lumley with a drop. I think that's a tired one. Just a bit of a lapse in concentration or fatigue.
Yep.
And that's it again. That's a break for Rainbow Warriors, bringing this to Universe.
Well, out of nowhere.
Out
really.
of nowhere.
We were seeing a carbon copy of Hurt's offense. Jen Nichols anchoring, Louisa to just doing the job on the field there with the unders.
And we have a timeout now on the field called by Rainbow Warriors. It looks like they want to bring on some of the same legs that were in that last point, probably on for their universe point. So a good call to use their one timeout now and the point that might matter most. But while they have a timeout, we're going to take one here in the booth. We'll be right back. And we're back. A little short break for us just to have some water. But the teams out there starting to bring their universe lines onto the field.
I actually think, yeah, the Warriors have done a great job to stick with Hurt. I think Hurt have been technically the better team. They've gotten a little bit greedy in the closing stages of what I've seen and gone for too much, gone away from their game plan. And the Warriors have just punished them with exceptional throws. But here we go, 10-all, universe point for the bronze medal.
Pull just sailing out of bounds on that downwind side.
Not the start they wanted for that point.
Not the start that you wanted, but sometimes we like to say we have them just where we want them. We like to set up our defense. It's a mindset. They're forcing flick. Again, taking the under, big bit there by Jansen, throwing the flick over the head, almost a second chance there by Quark. Again, what you said earlier about Hut being probably the better team, but then taking off a bit more than they should on shots like that. Why not just take the easy options? You just had a timeout. Run them if you know you can run. Disc moved to the far side by Rainbow Warriors. And a nice throw up to Kindred. Endigard managing to keep hands on that one. Isolation into the end zone, and he takes it, and that is a score! What an upset. 3 breaks in a row to face marking in the end zone. Kindred taking it down.
I can't believe what I've just seen, Alana. It was all in Hurt's favor.
If I had to put money down after halftime, when Hurt went up a break, coming out of the half, up 7-4. Fantastic work by Rainbow Warriors to bring that one back and win it on Universe Point.
You would have to say that, experience, really gritty experience of how to win games in these clutch moments, and exceptional throwing ability has won this game for the Rainbow Warriors.
Most definitely. I think that is really what it comes down to. I think some of the impatience of Hut really punishing them in the second half, and the ability of the Swedes on Rainbow Warriors to stay calm, know that they have the throws, and take advantage. And get those breaks just when it matters most.
Yeah, and I really hope Hurt now. They'll be hurting, no doubt. But they're a great mob. We played against them. Their spirit was excellent. I'm hoping now that they can reflect here and go, you know what? Look at where we're at. We're at the end of our careers. We've been given this chance. We've come out here. We've had a fantastic time on what is an incredibly special place with the great vibes of this tournament. Hey, we've enjoyed it. Let's enjoy this moment.
Most definitely. Congratulations to Hut for 4th. Congratulations to Rainbow Warriors for taking home bronze. We hope to see both teams at the next event for Great Grandmasters. Thank you for joining us, but please stay with us. The final is in just about 15 minutes. It's Team Finland taking on Spangled from the USA. Any thoughts on that?
Yes, I would say Spangled for the victory there. Yeah, they've got too much grit.
Yeah. I think from the streamed game that we did earlier, Spangled do look really good. Finland, I think, a little bit surprised that they've made it this far. So I think kind of one of those happy to be here, but sometimes those are the most dangerous. You never know kind of what they'll come out with. But thank you so much for joining us. On behalf of Greeny, the crew at ulti.TV, I'm Alana Archer. Stay with us for the final in just about 10 minutes.
Thanks.